News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
Oh, can I say one thing real quick? Before I get a lot of tweets, Dave, starring Kevin Kline, is a pleasant movie. That's a good movie.
A strong movie.
It's a good movie.
I would say it's a strong
I got no
movie.
problem with Dave.
You get no tweets now.
I have no tweets.
Well, Keanu Reeves knows how to handle an emergency situation on the big screen and in real life.
Sure.
According to Yahoo News, over the weekend, a United flight that he was traveling on from San Francisco to Burbank here in Los Angeles made an emergency landing in Bakersfield. And while it landed safely and there were no injuries...
They couldn't get through the 45-minute flight?
Nope. There was confusion about the logistics, how to work everything out once they were on the ground. So video shows the actor, he's seasoned, obviously, traveling for work, stepping up to help with travel arrangements, and then taking a van with the other passengers to their final destination. It was just quicker to drive than to fly. In the van, Reeves regaled people with Bakersfield trivia he was looking up on his phone. He was playing music on his iPhone. And here's a clip of Keanu explaining to all the passengers that driving back is better.
The people who can unload the bags won't be here for 3 hours. The vans will be here in an hour. So if you want to hit the road and then deal with your bags later, or deal with customer service and get it delivered, maybe. If you want to.
Oh.
He's trying to get everybody on that van.
Sage.
So much guys. He's a cool guy. I've spent some time hanging out with him doing celebrity driving, Toyota Grand Prix stuff, and I think I did it the year with him when they brought all the people back for like the big one, or maybe it was the year before that. I can't remember. Anyway, I've spent time with him in Europe. He was over at the Goodwood Festival. Hung out with him a little bit. Super nice guy. Theory. You've heard stories. You hear stories about like Brad Pitt being a little funky in the body department,
in the junk,
the scent department. Candace got a little of that natural funk going on as well. Theory. Good-looking dudes you'd blow anyway. What are we getting the loof out for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a solid
when I see
theory.
guys that are carrying around extra
Gina,
30,
Jeff.
guys are carrying around an extra couple pounds on them. Those guys are always buffed.
Hygiene
You know what I mean?
out.
Like they always smell like cologne and they're scrubbed and they're always like all put together. And then the guys are like unshaven,
Rock
unkempt,
stars.
whatever. It's like, you know what? Hey, baby. Yeah.
What's it to you?
This little barrier of BO, is that going to be that going to get between the two of us, or a little more my musk?
Hi,
Right.
I'm Jared Leto. I'm dirty.
Right. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, look, you need in the department where you're carrying around the extra pounds and you're not a rock star, you're not a celebrity, whatever. You need every advantage you can get.
Maybe that's why Weinstein was always in the shower when he met people.
That's right.
He wanted to be super clean.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I think your theory is sound.
Anyone who doesn't need untuck it can probably go with a little BO.
Right.
It does sound to me in that clip, however, like he may just be trying to convince a lot of slow people the best way to get this.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I don't
is,
know if he was helping so much as he was just going, if we all get on the bus,
One is here in
we'll
1
get
hour.
there faster.
Reshoots for John Wick 3. Let's go.
Here, I'm going to create a line for people who need to kill themselves, which is if this has been reported, if this has been said to you more than once, again, write it down. If someone says write it down, and multiple people tell you to write stuff down, kill yourself. And if people ever repeat this phrase, in the time it took me to explain this to you, we could have X, Y, or Z. If that's being said to you a lot, get it in gear, would you? You're wasting everyone else's time.
Pick it up.
Or kill
Yes.
yourself.
Sorry.
Well, 5 inmates escaped from a North Carolina jail Monday night, and 4 of them have been captured and returned. One's still at large. The Nash County Sheriff's Office says the inmates were in the yard and managed to squeeze through a little hole in the fence. They ran to the nearby woods and have been picked up by an accomplice. At around midnight, 2 of the men were captured at a motel about 15 miles away.
What if every movie that involved the prison break was what the actual events are, like in a prison break, versus, Kurt Russell and Stallone are on the roof. There's a lightning storm. They got a chopper in the air.
Right.
They have to make a zip line out of a tube sock. Who's going first? There's all that. And then in real life, you hear, how'd they escape? They just left the north gate open by mistake.
Sauntered right out.
And these guys, I don't even know if they wanted to escape. The wind kind of just
took them.
Just took them out. Like, I don't think they were planning on it, but the gate was just open.
Yeah.
And the other guy who was supposed to be there was eating. So that's all the stuff. Like, there's a hole.
Yeah.
So they just
How
walked
many walks around the yard does it take for you? Like one to then turn to your buddy and go, are you seeing what I'm seeing here in the fence here?
But every
Is that a hole?
This is
movie
a trap.
involves like a tunnel and a mining cart
Yep.
on tracks.
They
and
got to
you
take
going,
the rock and pound through the drainage pipe.
Right. Like there's something.
Time it with the lightning strikes.
Yep.
Yes.
So real prison escapes versus the movie version versus how cops solve homicide cases in movies.
Yeah.
Versus what happens in every TV show where they solve one, which is like, it went cold, and then about 9 months later, my phone rang. So I put down my bagel donut, which is a donut. I do half a bagel and half a donut.
They do it special just for you.
It's held together with Miracle Whip. Anyway, I set it down. I was annoyed. I picked up the phone. And anyway, somebody said the killer was drunk and they were at a bar last night and they was talking to him about whatever. So we talked to that person. And then he pointed at the guy's house. And then we went there and the knife was in the entry hall. So...
Case closed.
I had to pick up my bagel, the dot, my nut, my bay nut.
My bag nut.
Yeah, and then we just waited till the phone rang again. That's how we solve cases.
Plus, North Carolina, the cops just went, well, the humidity is going to get him in about an hour. They're just going to stumble out in the middle of the road dead.
Because every single one of those cop shows, it's never gut instincts, never rolling on.
No
It's never
hunch.
feeling. It's just some phone rings and the ex-girlfriend is pissed off,
Drops a
calls
dime.
them. Yes, that's
Yeah,
how it goes.
You're absolutely right.
But it's not as good cinematically.
Pretty short
You know what I
movie.
mean?
Yeah.
Short
Or
Well-
super long.
Yeah, that's right. You got to wait
right.
another 9 months. So they found two dudes at a motel a few miles away. 5 hours later, they found two more. Now the search is still on for 25-year-old Laquarius Rashad Battle,
Stop it.
who was in jail for possession of a stolen vehicle. A $1,500 reward is being offered for information to his capture.
Definitely not a Jew.
$1,500. They don't even want this guy that
That's
bad.
insulting to Laquarius.
What about Lori Loveland? $1,000, $1 million bond, everybody. Laquarius? Is this the...
I love that song from Hair.
I love when they break on the
The
dance.
age of
What is the age of
Laquarius?
Laquarius?
Yep.
Those battle kids are tough.
That's a great name.
Is Laquarius a name or is that a made-up name?
Well,
it's his name.
in as much as it's his
But
name.
eventually some of the made-up stuff is going to catch on, right?
Yeah, I don't know if there's too many Laquarii
Like,
in the world.
There's got to be more LeBrons running around now than LeBrons were.
You have
from
to imagine. Yes,
30,
it probably caught
34
on.
years
probably
ago,
caught on
right?
in the last 20 years.
Although your theory is what name didn't catch on?
Denzel!
Denzel.
Yeah,
The
that's
most
true.
respected black man in the last 30 years,
Yeah.
and there's one other famous Denzel.
These guys do have something working in their favor. We're looking at Laquarius
Ooh,
now.
that's a crew.
They do have something working in their favor in terms of breaking out of prisons, which is
Poor Jim Norton.
your average 19-year-old slacker looks like he just broke out of the
Yeah,
joint
right.
now.
He blended
Like,
in.
there's
Yeah,
so many
hide in
guys
plain
with
sight.
weird facial hair
Yeah.
and dreads and
Lesions.
tattoos on their neck. Like they're guys who program,
Yeah.
and they have tats on their neck.
Yeah.
Like
They actually
every-
have to
and face.
escape prison and
Yeah.
get more tattoos
Yeah.
to blend in.
yeah,
Go to the
really.
Google campus. You blend right in.
Right.
Like the weird facial hair and the dreads and the tats
Neither
and like
here nor there.
they used to in the
Yeah.
50s. I was like, that guy's a criminal or a merchant marine. Either way, like take him down. Now I couldn't tell you who. There's no chasm
That
anymore,
was
right?
literally Pineapple Express 2 right there. Those
Yes.
Right.
And that's the thing. People used to say that about, like, you're never going to get a job if you have a tattoo. But seriously, how are face tattoos a fad? They're permanent. And the fad, that doesn't add up to me. There's just people. I saw people at Topanga Mall that have face tattoos. Face tattoos.
Regrets? I've had a few.
I don't.
You can't make a fad out of something permanent like a face tattoo.
No, you can't.
I don't know. And then also, well, anyway, we're insane. And yes, I do think people are sort of desecrating themselves in order to not be employable. Like this is a facial tattoo version of my mom being a Chicano studies major at LA Valley College, which is great. unemployed. Like there's no, you can graduate, but you'll never have a job,
right?
Which is the plan. Sorry.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell and Elizabeth Hasselbeck seem to hate each other while they were on The View. But in an upcoming book, Rosie admits her true feelings for Hasselbeck. She has a new book coming out called...
I have this with Dane Cook, but go ahead.
She calls it, the book is Ladies Who Punch, as opposed to Ladies Who Lunch, the explosive inside story of The View. And she reveals she had a little bit of a crush on Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Oh. Rosie insists she was more interested in being a mentor for her, though, than a girlfriend. And Rosie thinks Elizabeth may not be 100% straight, saying, quote, I think there were underlying lesbian undertones on both parts. She was the MVP of a Division I softball team for 2 years that won the finals. There are not many in my life, girls with such athletic talent.
That's her evidence.
Yes, on sports teams that are traditionally male, that sports teams are traditionally male that aren't at least a little bit gay.
Well, softball is not traditionally male. It was like invented so women could play baseball. So she's a little off on that one. I don't even, well, they must have men's softball now, but to me it was like that guys play hardball and the women's play softball.
Yeah, not in their athletic prime.
Now,
guys,
I'm trying to think, I'm just saying, I don't know if they have collegiate competitive softball leagues in college now for dudes. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
but it makes sense that it may exist. I'm trying to think of the sport. Like you go soccer, like gymnastics, you go, well, those are athletes. We don't think lesbian athletes, right?
No.
But then soccer, you go, a little more there. Softball, blah, 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 blah.
Softball's the cliche.
I'm trying to think.
Bass fishing, I think, is in the
basketball
softball.
got a little of that.
Yeah, the WNBA.
A little bit,
right.
Maybe golf.
Although that's mixing now. That's
it's an interesting dynamic that you don't think of, which is she's Rosie's current wife is an attractive blonde. It would stand to reason that she could be physically attracted to Elizabeth Hasselbeck, right? Sure. And then you're arguing, and now you're kind of tugging on the hair on the schoolyard, sort of arguing. Yeah.
Now, Elizabeth has responded. She was not pleased.
She's flattered.
No, far from it. She said, this is basically very offensive to her and insulting, but she had to...
a little offensive.
She had to have
you played softball. You must be a little bit gay.
She talked about that, and I believe I'm paraphrasing.
Just playing hard to get.
But she said, I had a talk with God about it, or I prayed about it, and I forgive you, Rosie.
Well, within softball, look, I don't feel like center... or right field. I don't feel like center or left. I don't feel like the outfielders are gay.
No,
catcher's gay.
It starts at home plate, emanates from there. Pitcher's a little gayer.
Yeah, third base a little gayer.
Yeah.
Hot corner.
God is literally like, tell Mueller to hold. I got Elizabeth Hasselbeck on, too. I got to deal with this. I talk to God.
Yeah.
Sort of like, you need to be... It helps if you're left-handed to play first base.
Yes, it does.
Helps to be a lesbian. To play catcher.
But now, isn't anybody who's assertive sexually, regardless of their sexuality, don't they always think that? I thought there was a little undertone there.
Yeah, a little wishful thinking.
Yeah.
With anybody that you're into.
Absolutely.
They kind of they're a little into me.
And also, I don't know, we always do, it's funny, if you ever hang around with gay guys enough, they will tell you, like, George W. Bush? Oh, totally gay. And you go, what? And I go, oh, come on. Come on. And you go, no, I didn't know. Oh,
you don't see it.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Joey Buttafuoco? Gay. And you go, no. And I go, oh, come on. It's so... You didn't.
Obvious.
It's obvious, and then you listen to them like they know someone. But I don't do that with straight people. George Clooney, straight.
What?
Yeah. Come on.
How did?
Oh, come on.
But okay.
That's funny you mentioned that because I had someone convince me that Clooney was gay.
I'm saying if you're gay, somehow you know. And then you can tell me, and then I don't really have any base to argue back at. And then if you make it like everyone knows it but me, now I really have to jump on
you're
board.
The chump.
Yeah,
Navajo wind talkers. They have their own language.
I've been done that with Clooney. I've had someone try to convince me that P. Diddy was gay.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Kanye? Have you ever had that one?
Everybody
knew that. I didn't realize that.
Actually homosexual.
I didn't know that. Well, I would love to know at some point if Christy Bishop has some insider info on this, because ever since last year's Super Bowl, Bud Light and Miller Coors have been doing that battle. And I'm sorry, I should have had the commercial ready, but you probably remember
the
it.
giant the knights and the castles and the
corn
syrup.
Corn syrup, exactly. Now Miller Coors is suing Anheuser-Busch, which owns Bud Light, calling their ads false and misleading. Do you want to remember what we're talking about?
Yeah, there were funny spots.
Yeah, very good.
My king, this corn syrup was just delivered.
That's not ours. We don't brew Bud Light with corn syrup.
Miller Lite uses corn syrup.
Let us take it to them at once.
Trekking the land.
But if something did happen, we'd eat the wizard first, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's a nice throwaway.
Light, we received your corn syrup by mistake.
That's not our corn syrup. We received our shipment this morning.
You're joking.
Try the Coors Light Castle. They also use corn syrup.
Funny.
Can you smoke outside?
Crossing oceans.
Oh, brewers of Coors Light, is this corn syrup yours?
Well, well, well. Looks like the corn syrup has come home to be brewed. To be clear, we brew Coors Light with corn syrup.
Bud Light.
So here's the deal. They're saying that's false and misleading. Fox News reports that it started with a number of those high-profile ads, but Miller Coors said in a statement, Anheuser-Busch is fear-mongering over a common beer ingredient it uses in many of its own beers as a fermentation aid that's not even present in the final product.
Not a denial.
Bud Light claims it's about transparency, saying we stand behind the Bud Light transparency campaign and have no plans to change the advertising. So it's a funny little loophole.
You guys can blame Trump for a lot, but we must thank him for this new era of everyone fighting about everything all the time, because it used to be our product exists. Don't mention the name of the other product, because they do not exist to us. And now, tear them a new a-hole. Like you see the car companies. This is a Chevy truck. Look at its payload. Oh, man, that's a bummer. And then they go up to the Ford truck. And it used to be sort of the Marquis of Queensberry, but it was also like, just don't bring up the other. They don't exist.
Yeah.
And now it's Clash of the Titans.
I'm
like I said, give the devil's due. I gotta give Trump a little tip of the cap for this.
I am picturing the corn farmer in Iowa who's just about to get off government subsidies.
Right.
And it's funny you should mention that. It's actually not funny, but they are pissed.
I bet.
They are absolutely pissed about this. So.
They're like, if I wasn't morbidly obese, I'd get out of this rocking chair and open a can of whoop ass on you, which does not have corn syrup, by the way, but it would be okay if it did.
Hey, this corn syrup story brought to you by high fructose corn syrup. Don't worry, something worse will come along.
All right, let's do one more.
All right. Well, The Hustle recently ran a survey of more than 2,000 alcohol-consuming American adults and found that drunk shopping, actually, if you'd like to guess, what do you think the estimated per-year spending when you're drunk is in this country?
In my household, $2 million.
Okay.
It's a lot of lampshades. Well, now you can do
prime shipping. Woo!
I bought some Wonder Mops when I was drunk, just from like QVC thing. But now that everyone's got Amazon and everything, it's an issue, right? Because you'd have to get drunk and get in the car and drive drunk and go to the market. Blah, blah,
Not
blah.
recommended.
Not recommended.
So
$183 billion.
$183 billion. You say $2 million, Brian?
That's my household. It's got to be. Yeah, I'm going to go over on Jeff's. I'm going to say $200 billion.
Okay.
That's nationally.
Yeah, people who buy shit when they're drunk.
And this is just a report, a survey.
This is a survey,
I don't know, $300 billion.
Well, this is feeling very conservative now. $45 billion per year industry.
Wow.
So who's doing this drunk shopping? What are they buying?
People in
What's
Wisconsin.
going on?
What, are you kidding me?
79% of alcohol consumers say they've made at least one drunk purchase. The average annual spend per drunk shopper, $444. Clothing and shoes are the most common.
I just passed that on March 1st.
Oh, my God. Most common drunk purchase. And, of course, Amazon is the drunk shopping platform of choice.
Does booze count as a drunk purchase?
Oh, that's a very good
I think it has to be
point.
online.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is mostly to do with online, but I like where your head's at.
The pink dot guy coming up the driveway? No. Okay.
Amazon has really been a game changer in this realm.
I'm guessing the food delivery services are probably pushing this up year by year.
Well, and I thought about this too. Amazon, another reason, at least I can speak personally, that's so much easier to do if you're altered is because your credit card information is already saved. It's not like you're fumbling trying to match numbers. It's just in there, and now it's going to arrive tomorrow.
Amazon keeping America's roads safe.
That's right.
I like
it.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't. I've never done any drunk purchasing because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, not for lack of trying.
No, I don't. I do. I do have what I do on the computer drunk, at least in my refractory period, is I will take these weird deep dives into people. Max Pata, I'll throw it out there because Jeff's here. There was a black street comic, and he was big in New York, and he would perform at the park and draw hundreds of people, and super high energy guy who died at like age 41 or something. And Dave Chappelle says he was an inspiration and blah, blah, blah. I guess you just put in all-time
Michael Collier, maybe?
Street comics. I don't think that was his name.
Charlie Barnett.
Charlie Barnett.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You know him, right?
I do. Yeah.
So I'm just watching an episode of TJ Hooker where TJ goes to Chicago and he gets teamed up with like the sassy black cop, Chicago PD. Sure. He's like, this is how we do it in Chicago, yo. And he's driving a Cadillac. This doesn't seem like a squad car to me. It is now. Hang on, hubcap flying off and everything. And I'm just watching this guy, and I'm like, this guy's a stand-up comedian. I don't know who he is. I just know, I can tell by his performance, he's a stand-up. He's a black guy who they cast as this guy, and it's like you can
not
tell
really
him
listening to the other actors. He's just doing his thing.
Right. He's like improvising, and I go, this guy's a stand-up. And then I go like, I bet he was the shit at like one time and like something tragic or whatever. And I go, I'm going to try to find this guy's name, and I wait for the credits, and his name's not on there, and then I start like hunting around. His name's Charlie Barnett, and then he did a lot. What happened? Sorry.
How'd he die?
I think he died of AIDS.
Yeah, he died of AIDS. Got contracted HIV through heroin abuse. Died at age 41.
Oh, right. So, 4 years after he shot the TJ Hook, whatever. And I was just like looking at him, and I was going, this guy's a stand-up.
Yeah.
And this guy didn't see his 50th birthday. That's what I know about this guy. Yeah. And now I'm going to go on the internet and see if I can prove myself right. And I was watching him doing Night at the Apollo and him at the park doing his work, doing crowd work at the park in New York and doing his whole thing. And it's like, then you start taking a deeper dive, and it's like, oh, he's an inspiration to many comedians that were coming up at the time, and blah, blah, blah. And Jeff Cesario knows the name.
Yeah. Charlie Barnett was good, man. Yeah. Tragedy.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Died of AIDS at age 41.
At 41. Terrible. Ouch. Yeah. Meanwhile, other drunk people are just buying trampolines.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. I'm also from Gay.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.